Welcome to the January 16th, 2018 Parks Commission meeting. First order of business is to approve meeting minutes. Right now, we only have meeting minutes from the month of December to approve.
I'll make the motion, we approve the minutes for December
Second.
2017.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Lenny, you need me to get one to sign? You want me to sign?
I didn't give you an extra one.
I printed this one.
No, oh, here it is, right here. I got, yeah,
Oh,
You tricked me. I won't fall for it again.
Deposits, treasury report.
It's the only,
He's not here right now, so if you want to just run down the list of balances.
there's been no deposits. There's two bills that we paid out of the rec account. One was the salary, and then the other one was the phone bill, and then the $77 that were paid to.
We'll leave this for,
Yeah, it's fine. We got three, so we can take it. All right. Community input. Did you have anything you wanted to say, or?
I know your agenda, so I wanted to hear how things went with the mixer site.
Okay.
That's the open space.
We'll get to that right after DPW stuff, which should be quick.
Sure.
All right, next is Park and Recreation update. I believe you know, because I think the email went to everybody that Holly resigned. Essentially, she was having a hard time finding places to run events that she was actually able to charge for. So I did work with her several times in the process, and I think she felt that she was unable to make something work at the time. So, based on this, it's my recommendation that we leave the position vacant at this time due to lack of, available or someone willing to be a rec director for this price, and what we were willing to pay, and also lack of interest, because since we didn't have a rec director other than a few emails looking for an after-school program on the half-days, there hasn't really been many people asking for many things. In addition, with that, I think we should disconnect the phone, cell phone that we're paying for.
cell phone,
Yeah.
the Park Commissioner's phone on,
Parks Commission, well, would the Parks Commission have a phone?
the rec director is supposed to be taking the messages
Oh.
out, so.
So we can figure that out, but we'll leave a line for Parks Commission as in addition to the email, but I think the recreation line for the landline should also be taken down too. If we're gonna put these programs, kind of basically get rid of it at this point in time.
Have you talked to Anita, Val, about this?
I briefly told her what my recommendation was gonna be, but that was about it. She wanted to know what the board decided afterwards.
Do you think there'd be any grants out there available to get something going again?
I mean,
Spring?
I can ask, but I guess I agree, we should wait till spring if that's what we're gonna.
I think that we should. I think we started it at the wrong time.
Well, I mean, to be fair to us, we advertised it well before
Yeah.
and didn't get any, we weren't about to turn away the candidate that we did get.
You know,
Right. And who was more than capable.
yeah.
I'd like to get a motion then to maybe not fill the recreation position, and
I'll make a motion that we hold off until spring and bring it up again, discuss it, and then maybe approach Anita to see if we can get some funding from some way, either the town or a grant, whatever.
can I get a second?
Second.
Did you get that whole motion, Lee? So any discussion? I would just say that, maybe what I'll do is I'll talk to Anita right away about a grant. Holding off till spring, I think will create the same problem that we did. If we're gonna decide to move forward with the program, I think we need to shoot for a spring timeframe of bringing it up and running.
I'm gonna repeat what I said in the past, back before you were on the board and I was chairman. That's when Leon was still here. And this is when we started the rec program. And the agreement that we had with Leon was that we'd run it for like 5 to 6 months and then he would somehow come up with money to keep it going.
Yeah, I did bring that up to,
Yeah, he ended up leaving, so.
I did bring that up to Anita, and it didn't seem like there was an area in the budget for that right now. And it also seemed like, I don't know if they've discussed it, but it seemed like the selectmen weren't necessarily ready to entertain something like that. And they wanted to be self-funded. Well, I think at this point, I think we should just, agree to hold off and then revisit. And I will talk with Anita about grants. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We do have a permit request for Little League. I have 3 here. We do need to get DPW and police signatures. But barring those, one of them is for April 22nd, 2018, from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. for Goodale A and B. This is for the parade. Also to shut down the road from 12 to 1 so we can walk from the common over. The other one is Monday through Friday, 5 to 8, and Saturday, Sunday, 9 to 6, Goodale A and B from April 1st to July 30th. And Nixter and Woodland, Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 8, and Saturday, 9 to 11, from April 1st to July 1st.
Those any different than the last year?
Yeah, these do not include the fall ball stuff,
Fall ball?
to the 10th of July.
You want to approve those now and then just show?
Yeah, we'll approve them and then just get the, I'll make sure that they get Dennis's and Butch's signatures.
I'll make a motion to approve all 3 of them.
Second.
Little League?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So next is the DPW update. Butch was unable to make it due to snow removal.
Pending storm?
Yeah. He did give an update. Not much was done due to it being winter. Let's see, nothing done on the storage units, nothing done with the shrubs at Woodland, which I wouldn't expect this weather. Couple things here. Next couple, we're waiting for springtime, the basketball courts and the goal posts. He's waiting on a price. I guess he went twice for the swing gate and still hasn't got anything. So he's supposed to meet today. He didn't list the company.
Patriot?
He didn't list the company.
He said last meeting.
Huh? Was it Patriot? I like to talk to Joe.
Under winterizing, well, that's still pending.
Just ask the winterizing stage.
Yeah, high school baseball fields, waiting for ground to freeze, which
It's
has
frozen.
been frozen.
Probably thaw out this coming week.
The bubbler at the, I should say bubbler, not bubbler, bubble, is gonna be done in the spring. Skating rinks are done.
Still bags to be removed from around trees.
Yeah, he says, did I skip that? Oh, that's apparently in progress. The railings and the Goodale sign will be spring.
Actually, those high school football concession stand railings, stairs and railings, they did some work there.
They did some work that was, just to get through the season, but he
Yeah.
plans on doing some additional work. And then he also put a $5,000 increase in the parks budget, for our request.
For the DPW,
Yeah, on the DPW side.
that's good.
And that's all I have for DPW. You said you had some other stuff you wanted to add?
The tennis courts. The agreement we had was that when we closed those in the fall, we changed the gates so that no one can get in there and use them for something they're not supposed to be used for.
Affordale.
Yeah, they're not chained.
Okay.
And I'm quite sure the chains have probably disappeared, so my suggestion is that we get chains on there and padlocks, and maybe when we undo them, leave the chains right on the fence, padlock them to the fence, so that they'll be there next year when we want to lock it up. And the other agreement we had was that when the basketball courts, we leave those open all year long, but when there is ice and snow on them, we're supposed to lock the gates to keep the kids from going in there and getting hurt. Once the snow and ice is gone, then we unpadlock them.
Yeah, okay.
So we just add those two. And also, I'd be interested in knowing whether he's done anything on the mower that we're gonna need.
Okay. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Moving on to old business, we don't have any new business. Open space and recreation plans, when he is here, we can bug him on that one as well. Like, I'm assuming that's still in progress. You want to give a quick update on where that is?
Well, right now it's in progress. We got some comments from the State Department or Division of Conservation Services who reviews it. And we feel, we're working with CMRPC, we should be able to address all the comments and get it resubmitted in the next week. And then, once it's resubmitted, we're expecting to get an approval within a month.
Okay.
And that will allow us to apply for the grants. I think there are grants available for some of the things that you've talked about. I'm not sure when the grants are open and closing and all that stuff, but at least once we get it approved, we're now eligible for grants.
So hopefully in the March timeframe, maybe this will be approved?
Yeah, well, we actually got a letter saying that we could apply for grants. We just couldn't get any money from those grants until it gets approved. And the process to get grants takes a while, so I think we should be fine. I mean, if you guys find a grant that looks good, just run with it. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help. But I think because the plan's moving forward, we should be all set to apply for them.
So there's a possibility that we could get some money through you guys for some of our projects.
With you guys, yeah. It's an open space and recreation project, so that's why I'm here. I want to try to work better, have it more working with open space and recreation, so it all goes together.
Gary, you're still on open space, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Yes, yeah, Gary, Jim's been a bunch to our meetings. The cooperation's been really good in preparing this plan, so I think the plan has a lot of the things you're looking at for the future. The next step is dotting the i's and crossing the t's and then applying for the grants.
The resurfacing of the basketball courts will be done in spring.
Yeah, we have that money, by the way, in the budget.
It's a separate line item, yeah. It's supposed to be 35.
Well, I was looking at that, I couldn't remember, I guess I was.
I don't know, 30 or 35 is what was approved at town meeting, that's what was asked for at town meeting.
I might have typed-
What I'll
What's
do-
that one?
I might have typed it wrong, let's see what my report said.
Okay.
I can check with Russell. I think it's 32 something.
I thought we rounded and asked for 35 at town meeting.
It's 35, I don't know where I got 23.
All right.
get started as soon as the warm weather gets here.
Okay. So I met with Fisk last Tuesday about the mixed fields. I did get a copy of the layout of where the senior center is planning on going. It is on the table for you to review. They're not planning on changing anything or disrupting the existing field that's there. That drawing is to scale, so we could use a ruler to determine what the scale is and measure out in that open area how much room is available to maybe revamp the softball field.
Well, is that parking area in the same place that it is now?
That is in the same place. If you go look, where the old building was is where the new building is going,
Okay.
essentially. But it's more faced, it's rectangular in nature, where it's gonna be narrower in the front but longer. And there'll be parking around the side as well. So we could see what's available based on this drawing. It is to scale. We could figure out what could fit in there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if we could get them while they're working on the site to maybe do some modifications in there and get rid of that water that sells and.
So we could go back and ask it. That was brought up. There seemed to be some interest in regards to that, although, because they are going to have to do some digging through it before, I think it was electrical that they needed to bring over.
I think it's a water line. They're coming to the planning board for a site plan review, so if you have comments, I think our meeting is coming up in a couple of weeks, so if those are things you would want kind of reviewed as part of the site plan review, we would be happy to include that. I know that I had asked that when they did a preliminary application. They came in on a preliminary review, we talked with them about doing some repairs, and they said there wasn't money in the budget to do it, and now they're bringing, I think it's a water line up through that area, so it's possible that we could get some grading improvements there. You're gonna be moving dirt, it might not be a bad idea.
Well, it's a big
Move it
hole
the right
that
places.
fills the water.
Right, so we can fill it and do the right thing, that'd be great.
So essentially, to echo what Vinnie said, is that they basically said there wasn't any money for such a thing, but it is possible that we could do something around that time or afterwards in that area. If we could get some money for that, maybe CPC funds essentially.
Yeah.
One thing that I would like to clarify, because, from my own personal perspective, I never realized it. I keep hearing this number of 11 to 13 acres, so I asked this question because I also asked, what about the soccer field behind it as well? And what I never really truly understood that was explained at that meeting was the 11 to 13 acres is there, however, it's not all flat.
Yeah.
So that map also there's a few maps there, has the grading and shows where it kind of dips off. So to put something out there is not necessarily feasible. It's not a big 11-acre flat piece of land. So putting something out might be a little more difficult.
Is that 11 acres up there, or does that include the field where the police station would go? That's the old.
I don't know, I didn't ask that. All I know is 11 to 13 has always been floated out there, so just kind of preface it with somewhere in that ballpark is what the acreage is, but it's not very flat, so to be able to build something in the back of it is probably not likely. So ideally what we would do is look at this map and come up with some dimensions that we would like to do for maybe a softball field. Maybe we don't put a permanent fence, maybe we do. If we don't put a permanent fence, we could multi-use it into a soccer field possibly as well.
Be nice if we could put a fence along the road, balls from going on, that's such.
Well, my perspective of it would be, if we were going to do something, I'd like to put home plate by the road. So you're heading towards the parking lot area, because you're gonna get more room, because there's a lot of wasted space there as is now. And we might be able to turn it a little bit, and that'll prevent balls from going to the
It
road.
might be a problem because the driveway comes in like this and you would lose.
Right, again, that's why I asked for this, so that we could kind of play around with it. And we might need to put one of those nets up along the road like we've done at the baseball fields and softball fields.
When is this all scheduled to happen now? Are they giving you any? I mean, if we're gonna do something with that field and we're gonna go to the CDC to get money, we need to know.
I think we have a little bit of time. I mean, they still, we still haven't had a town meeting, which you know what those dates are? I think it was in February.
Yeah, it's early February, I thought, it's
The
coming.
What is that for?
26th, I think, is a Monday.
There's a town meeting that they're gonna hold for, because it's a, what is it, 2.5 override or something, I'm not sure of the details,
For more
but
money.
they need a
The
town.
rest of the money, yes.
So they need a town meeting vote as well as an election, and I think the election is the 27th, February 26th or 27th, whatever the Tuesday is, so I guess it's 27th.
Yeah, that Monday was the town meeting, the next day was the election, so I believe it's 26th, 27th.
You know, and that's to get the money, and then the construction will probably start, not that long after that, if they've got a design done. So they're coming to the planning board with a design, I think, in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so they're pretty close if they're going for the money.
I just wanna make sure that we get something going with the CDC before, you know, not without it.
Yeah,
Alright.
well, I think it's gonna be in our best interest to wait anyway, because there's gonna be disruption, and I don't think we'll be able to, we're gonna have to go out to bid to do anything, so we're not gonna be able to necessarily use.
Well, depends if it's 50,000 now for RFPs. So,
It almost makes sense if you got a machine, you got machines out there that have to do the work anyway. If they're already there, it's cheaper to just
or if they
have
got
them.
fills they wanna get rid of.
That's what I was thinking, we could,
Yeah.
that was brought up at the planning board meeting, so they're aware of this, it's just not in their plans yet. And I think having a little more people commenting that the town would like to have that would be a good thing, because they're trying to sell this at town meeting as a community center, not just for the seniors. So
But,
to get the parks, that would build a lot more users into the system. So I think it would help them to get their project to pass. Because I heard a lot of people were not happy about it because of the tax bills that just came out. They're already upset about the taxes now. So if we want to get this thing through, we want to try to get as much support behind it as possible.
In addition, you know, now it's more than just bringing in fill and things like that. I mean, it's not drainage. I mean, if we have watercraft, I think we need to look at installing drainage and making sure that it's done the right way.
well, they're gonna be putting drainage in for the field, so I mean, that could be incorporated with put into the senior center, so that could be incorporated with the field, as long as they do it the same thing.
The building's on a higher elevation, so it might be more difficult. The building's kind of set up and they're draining down to where they're going to have drainage, at least in the preliminary. A field would be set off, but it's grass, and it's going to have percolation, so it's not going to need nearly as much drainage treatment as would be required for impervious areas. But it
It's
does
only
need
one
to be
area
thought
that
about.
you have drainage problems with,
Yeah.
over the corner.
Yep, and there's a lot of ledge up on that site too.
All right. Anything else on, any other questions on that? The all-purpose, did you ever get a quote on the?
My friend never got back to me, so what I did was I went up and measured it myself. The roof is 440 square feet, which is like 5 square shingles. It's not a big job. The siding comes out to around 1,000 square feet, so, I don't think it would be that expensive to, we have to do the roof.
10 square, so you're talking,
Even at $400,
you're talking about 500-ish in materials for the roof, and another 12 to 13-ish for
yeah,
the siding, plus,
plus somebody to put it on.
which
So I was
could
gonna
be done.
see if I could find somebody from town,
Can we use
someone else.
DPW worker to do that?
But,
Couldn't a DPW worker do that?
we rely on the DPW a lot, and
Well, I guess it's
they
worth
could,
talking
they
to
could,
Butch, I
they
guess,
could,
is
they
my
could.
point.
Yeah, but the problem is that the roof is not a problem. The siding is, a lot of the texture 111 is deteriorated, so some of it's gonna have to be replaced, and when you get into siding like that, you have to bend aluminum, you could have a aluminum break.
Right.
It gets a little technical, so. But this guy's out there that we can get, it's just that I've been waiting for my friend to get back to me, and he hasn't, so I'm gonna just move on if I can find somebody else.
Okay. Sounds good. And next is the signs that we're just waiting to, so Sprite, did you get the signs?
We voted to hold off until March. So that's what I told Luke. As soon as we're ready to come to the March meeting, we'll go over and get them to put them on.
All right, sounds good. That brings us to committee updates. Anybody have anything? Actually, going on was the open space, we have that for facilities.
There was no quorum today, so.
Right.
What was that, I missed that?
There was no quorum today for the open space meeting, so there's no update there, and there hasn't been a meeting for Parks Facility Committee in quite some time. Member requests?
What are these down here now? These are
Those are where they go,
the
yeah.
same, yeah. I had a conversation with the people across from the softball field that were complaining about the balls going into their yard.
Yeah.
I ran into her over the Christmas holiday. They seem to be content if we can put, at one time we had signs up there that said for softball use only, no high ball. They seem to be content that if we put those signs up, they think that will take care of the problem. So what I'm suggesting is that maybe we get 3 signs and put them up along Goodale Street, and then another one over on Crescent Street where they walk down in there and see whether that takes care of the problem. It's gonna be a lot cheaper than extending that netting out. We've got trees we're gonna have to take down, we'd have to have all kinds of meetings for that, so.
All right, yeah, well, and not to mention, I don't know that we can even extend it high enough, that's gonna be, you know, like,
You'd have to go like 40 feet, I mean, that's the only way you're gonna solve the problem, but it was the wife that I talked to, and she admitted that when they play softball over there, it doesn't happen. It's when the kids, younger kids get over there and start throwing the baseball around. That's when they have the problems. So if we can get these signs up and get the kids to adhere to them, then...
do you wanna contact him and have the same?
I already talked to Luke on a sign, and he was gonna see if he could find the old, we had a sign there, but he couldn't, the day I was there, he couldn't find it. We can just decide on how we want it worded, and I'll get maybe 3 of them made, along with these others here that we were talking about, and put them all at the same time.
Yeah, why don't we get a motion to
How do you want to word the signs? Just,
stop the,
for softball use
Yeah.
only, field for softball use only?
that's fine.
You want to leave it any way there in case we need to use it occasionally for hardball?
You could say for softball use only unless specifically permitted.
Not that?
Yeah, so that way if somebody wants to use it for anything else, they can get Parks Commission approval.
So is that gonna solve the problem of getting the balls across the street?
Well, just like you said, if it's softball only, then it shouldn't be a problem, and then this gives us leeway to approve for soccer when we need it.
That's
So
what I'm
then,
saying.
so if it goes to hardball, it's up to the Parks Commission to deny it.
Yeah, that's discretion.
Right, but we should not have hot ball ball.
Right,
That's my opinion.
yeah, agree. But having a little section that specifies they can come for additional use at our,
I think the last time we did it was for the fall ball, for the Little League.
we never gave Little League that field.
Yeah, they played on that, that's when this all started.
I think it was the men that showed
That was
up,
that guy,
not that wasn't Little League.
it's Sunday that they
I
came.
thought it was the older kids in Little League, the fall ball.
No,
They never
it
used
was
that.
the men, it was the men's.
Okay. And so, how do you want to word it? Do you want to just cross
Yeah,
out?
field for softball use only,
Period.
yeah, and then you can, add a second line that says, unless express written consent from the Parks Commission.
Okay. Well, you want that on there?
Yeah. That way it makes them aware that if they're gonna use it for anything but softball, they need to come
So
to
you
the
want
Parks
squash
Commission.
softball use only, and what was the rest of it?
Unless with written consent from the Parks
With
Commission.
written?
Yeah. You wanna make a motion with all that now?
Go ahead, say it.
You make a motion.
I'll make the motion that we obtain 3 signs to be placed at the softball field that read for softball use only unless with written permission from the Parks Commissioners.
Can I get a second?
Just thinking about that wording, 1 second.
Well, second, and then we can talk about
Second.
discussion.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Now, you want to change it?
Hearing none.
No, I think that's
Fine with
what I was
that.
gonna get, yeah.
I mean, there's a million different ways to
Yeah,
word it, as
sounds
long as
like all
we get
others
the point
require
across.
permit.
Luke may decide to do it a little
So that's-
differently, one as he comes out saying the same thing.
Yeah.
In fact, what I'll do is I'll take this up to him and have him do it, and he'll make a sample like we did with the others, and you can look at it and we can modify it, and we got a couple of months anyways before we gotta have them.
All right. So that was,
We have all-
Steve made the motion, Jeff seconded. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any other member requests?
We gonna do anything for town meeting in May, any projects?
At this point, I don't think so.
You
Unless,
know, when you talk about the fence at A and B field, you just wanna hold off, or, because I need to know if I gotta get something going.
the meeting's in May.
Meeting's in May, so we, you know,
Personally, if you want to do something there, I would wait till an October meeting, because we could still get approval on the fence in before snowfall. And if we wait till May, then we're gonna end up disrupting the league.
you mean it's when we're installing.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
So unless
So
there's,
you wanna go in
unless,
projects?
I don't have anything off the top of my head. The only thing I would say is we can discuss maybe this mixer thing a little bit more, and maybe we either ask for money to do something there, or maybe we ask for money to get some kind of design done with some cost estimates to do an improvement in mixer.
For what?
I was saying, the only thing I could really think of is if we wanted to do a project at Nexter, we could ask for some money to either maybe get some designs done, so that with cost estimates, or if we wanted to do something else and we knew what it would cost, to ask for money for that.
Well, I don't know, has anybody ever thought of like a pool up there, up in Mystic?
well, did you see the plan there?
I haven't seen it, no, but I'm just saying. I mean, it's now, it's a community center now, like you heard Vinnie say, more so than just a,
If we want to do a pool, I think
Senior
we
center.
should wait till after the senior center's done, and then evaluate that. But the only other thing that we could do is something in the front with the field, because I wouldn't put a pool in the front.
no,
But with the senior center going in, you could come in shortly after to do
Yeah.
certain work in the
I
front.
mean, there's a lot of room out back there, all you have to do is just grade it off to flatten.
Well, if you look, like I said, I asked that question, and it's pretty steep in area, so for a field, probably not. A pool would probably do better, but we'd have to ask somebody.
No,
But I'd say we should definitely wait until after the senior center was done to
We also,
entertain the idea of a pool.
I'm just putting it out there that I think, where we had, on the different surveys that we had, people wanted another pool. And so now I think that would be an opportune time to at least look at it.
Yeah, or,
we maybe should wait for the tax study vote too.
agreed. Well,
Well, I wouldn't-
maybe, yes and no, I mean, we're kind of going down a bit of a rat hole with this at this time, because we can't do anything really on either. However, that's phase 4 of the park study.
Yeah.
And the vote would be for phase 1, so phase 4 would be so far out that I would think that if a pool is something people desire,
Is the vote gonna be for phase 1 or is it gonna be for the
just
whole
phase
thing?
1.
So So we gotta go through this three more times?
Well, unless we put a pool somewhere else, only 2 more times.
Or if we get shut down, town meeting on phase one. Which I don't know, I think there's gonna be definitely good possibility of that, but
So based on that conversation, I think that, to ask for it in May, unless we decide that maybe by next meeting to get some money for
It's
next
gonna be
time.
too late then. You gotta get the stuff to the CDC.
We have, what's the,
You got your schedule after the town meeting. We have to get it into the CDC for approval, and, you know, they've been very lenient with us. Most of the time. We'll get it in.
It's only 2 weeks away.
what's only 2 weeks away?
The next meeting.
Yeah, February 5th.
Wow.
But we'd have to get on
I
the
have
agenda.
one.
So we would have to get on their agenda anyway.
So, I mean, unless we decide now, February, March, April, May.
The problem is that I don't know what to ask for right now.
It's 3 weeks away, right?
Yeah. All right, any other member requests?
It's not a member request, but the bills that we got for United, for the porta potties for the summer, we got a credit coming from them, Lynn, of $258.18. They billed us for some extra days that they shouldn't have, plus they billed us for the Winter Pride Park for December.
Oh, okay. All right, all right, so our next meeting is February 5th. The one after that, probably March 5th. Does that work for everybody?
when in March.
March 5th. That works.
All right.
Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.